Today is Wednesday. I don't know what day it is. Hold on. It's day 142 of Blender. And today I think I'm going to do something kind of like a text animation, but with like a bounce, like a different like positioning. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. Okay, so I'm just going to just press X to delete this, N to pull up my control panel, turn up my shortcuts. Alright, I'm going to do Shift A, and I'm going to do, where's the text? Oh, right here. So I'm just going to go to front view by pressing the button under the escape key and then hovering over front. And then I'm going to go to object properties, and I'm just going to change the rotation over here in the properties panel of the X to be 90 degrees. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And so I'm going to go into tab mode, or not tab mode, edit mode by pressing tab, or I could just go to top left corner over here and press edit mode, and then just change everything automatically. So I'll probably do something like, something short, maybe like car, or like, I'll do RAI. My nickname that actually nobody uses. It's not a nickname, it's just a short version of my name, because RAI, get it? RAI. Alright, what was I saying again? Alright, so I'm just going to use this as a template, so I'm going to go here to the outliner and call this template, and then what I'll do is I'll do shift, I'll press this, right, what are you doing? Control Z. So I'll do shift D, escape, edit mode, by pressing on top and then doing that R, and then leaving it there. And then Shift D again, G, and then X to keep it on the X axis, which is the red axis, and then edit mode, and then leave it as A, and then G and X and position it kind of there, and then Shift D again, G, X, and then leave it right there, edit mode, and then just do I, like that, and then leaving it there. And then I can go ahead and delete the template by pressing on X, and then I have my letters here, so this is my R, this is my A, and this is my I. Alright. Okay. Let's see. So that's that. Now what I'll do is I'll add some thickness to it, so I'll go to object data properties over here, and I'll go to geometry, and I'll probably do either depth or extrude. Something like that. So give it like a 0.05 extrusion. So do that for each and every single one of them. Alright, and then what I'll do is I'll do Shift A, and I'll add a plane. And for this plane, I'll go here to object data properties, and I'll change the rotation to 90 degrees as well, and then just move it to maybe G, X kind of here, S to scale it upwards, and then GX a little bit over here. Go to front view by pressing the button under the escape key and then hovering over front, and then doing G to grab, right, and then X to grab on the X axis, kind of centering it here in the middle. Alright, maybe GZ to move it there. Something like that. Alright, at this point, yikes, GY. Alright, at this point, maybe I'll do Shift D, escape, and then change the rotation to 0, so it's there, and then doing G, Z a little bit like that, until it's kind of GZ a little bit, it's kind of up to here. And then at this point, I think what I'll do is, I'll select the R, and then I'll kind of open up my timeline over here, and I'll press N to open up my end panel. Go to item, and then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to probably end this at, let's say, 80. And in keyframe 1, I'll have the location be 0. So I'm going to press I, which is basically a shortcut to insert a keyframe. So I'll press I over the location. So now I inserted a keyframe in which the location of the R is going to be 0. And then I'll do the same thing over here. I'll hover over, press I, as long as I'm in keyframe 1 for each and every single one of them. And now I'm going to go back to the R, right? And then I'm going to go towards the end. And then at 80, or maybe not at 80, but maybe at 40. Yeah, at 40, I want it to have kind of like a different location on the z-axis. So I need it to go like upwards, maybe something like that. Let's leave it at 0.20. And then I'll hover over the Z and I'll press I to insert that certain keyframe. And then at 80, I'm going to make sure that it's at 0 again. And I'm just going to hover over the Z or whichever one and press I to insert that keyframe. And so now if you see, if you scroll all the way down or back to the beginning, you'll see as I move, it's going to go and hit that position that I wanted it to hit, which is 0.2, and then go all the way back down to its original position, which was 0. So that's kind of what I want to happen here. So I can do that with the location. And then I'm going to do the same thing for every other letter. So not every other letter, but the next letter. So here at 40, I need it to kind of be higher. So maybe I'll do double. So I'll do 0.4. And then insert that keyframe. And then for the I at 40, maybe I'll do 0.6 and insert that keyframe. Hover over, press I. Okay, so now you'll see it happening. And then I'm going to go back to A, and I'm going to go to keyframe 80. And I'll just make sure it's at 0. And then I'll hover over, insert keyframe, and do the same thing over here. Make sure it's 0, hover over, insert keyframe. So now if I go to keyframe 1 and I play it, it should, you know, bounce and kind of do something like that. Cool. I want to change what it says. Or maybe not. I don't know. No, I think it's good. You know what I should do? I should post on my close friends story, like, words. Hold on, I'm actually going to do that. Like, tell me a word, and I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that right now. Maybe for tomorrow, not for today, though. I'm done for today. Now, I'm just going to go to Material Preview. First of all, I'm going to do Control S to save this. What's today? 6/29/22.blend. I'm going to actually save it where I'm supposed to save it, which is in blends. Okay, save Blender file. And now I'm going to go to each individual letter. I know there's a thing where I can, there's a shading thing. Hold on. Shading, matcap, flat, studio, random. There we go, that's what I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to go to Material Preview, and Viewport Shading. And then I'm just going to go online here and search up my colors website. And I'm just going to generate a palette and see what I like. I love this one. Okay, we're going to go with this color. I think R was purple already. So at this point, I'm going to go here to Material Properties, which is like the dartboard icon in the Properties panel. I'm going to click on New, and I'm going to scroll down until I see Base Color. And then at this point, for the base color, I'm going to go to Hex because what I copied was a hex code. I'm just going to paste that in there, and you should see it turn purple. And then I'm going to go here and just kind of pick another color, maybe this one, and just click on New, Base Color, Hex, same thing. And then for I, maybe go back here, maybe this color, hex, paste that in there, okay. And then maybe for the backdrop, I can do something like, oops, maybe like a light blue, maybe to represent a sky or something. So I'll go to the plane, select that, base color, hex, paste that in there. I'll do the same thing for the floor. Okay, so now we have something going on. A little animation here. Alright, and then what I'll do is I'll go here to the animation and I'll just press on T and make sure I click on linear so that it continues on. So if I go from 0 and I just wait, it would continue on instead of stopping. It's going to continue on. There we go. That's beautiful. Alright, so I think that's good. So that's 80. You know what? Maybe I might render it. Maybe I might. So now I'm going to do Control S to save it, and I'm going to go to render preview here. So at this point, I know there's a light somewhere over here. So what I'll do is I'll select the light in the outliner, and I'll go to and make it. I'll go to Object Data Properties, which is a little light bulb here. I'll make it a sun, and then I'll just change the strength to maybe something like 3. So that should kind of fix things, and then maybe do GZ to bring it a little bit down, and then Y to bring it a little bit forward, and R to kind of rotate it so it hits something like that. It looks so bad. GX? Maybe I want it to rotate. I'm so confused. This way? And then rotate on the Z. I'm so confused right now. What's going on? Let me go to top view. Rotate this way, and then let me go to exit, front view, GZ. I'm so confused. Okay, hold on. Let me go here. Let's set the rotation all to just 0. Okay, and then at this point, I'll rotate it. This to 90 degrees. There we go. So it's a straight line. Just do GZ to bring it up here. And let me see how that looks like. Ugh. And then I'll just do Shift D. And I'll do GZ. And then, but for this one, I'll kind of make sure that it's hitting the floor. Kind of like that. It's just so much light, it's kind of losing the color. What if I do a perspective like this? I think that's good. Something like that. So if that's the case, then I'm going to have to click on this, edit mode, and then just click on edge select, top left over here, and then select this edge, and then just do G to grab, and then Z to grab up. Wait, what's going on right now? Hold on. This edge. Oh, E, excuse me, extrude, and then Z to extrude upwards. So it's kind of like this. Jeez, get a little bit, kind of like that. Alright, so then at this point I could do something like this, but then I'm gonna have to do the same thing for the lighting. Hold on. So I'll have to do, again, Shift D, and then just rotate it this way. Kind of like that. Alright. So it's going to look something like that. Let me do Control S. Hold on. Is it in cycles? I need to do cycles. Let's see how it looks like in cycles. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot. Maybe I don't care. Maybe Eevee is fine. Alright, we're going to let it be Eevee, and then I'm just going to do Control Alt and Numpad 0 to kind of set up my animation here. So it should look like that. If I go to 0, it should look like that. Okay, so that's what my animation is going to look like. Alright, so at this point I'm going to do Control S, and then I'm going to go to Output Properties. And I'm just going to make another project, desktop, Blender, animations, new folder. I'm going to call it RAI. What did I just do? RAI, and I'm just going to accept and put it in here. And then I'm going to make sure it's PNG, RGBA, everything is fine. I think that's the only thing that's missing here. Is there anything else? Maybe I could change the font to make it a little bit cuter. I could go to font, and then let's see if there's something that's cute. Comic Sans. Ugh, that's not cute. Maybe question mark? But that's not gonna... I guess that works. Maybe we could go closer though. Hit Control-0. There we go. Oh, no, a little bit more. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So at this point we do Control S, and then I'm just going to click on render animation, and then it should render those frames. And yeah. Never mind. What was I saying? I forgot. Oh yeah, it's going to just render all of those frames basically. But here's the problem though. I don't think it's... I'm confused. Did I not say render images? Why is it rendering the video? Oh, whatever. Let's do it once. Did I make sure that in output properties it ended at frame 80? Oh my god, it's actually rendering an anim... But it didn't tell it to. Whatever. Oh well. Well, that does that. I'm just gonna pause and do something else? Question mark? Wow, this is actually doing it pretty fast. Like, this is really good. Like, it's so fast. I was wondering, like, why is it going so fast? Like, it's supposed to be animation. It's like, oh, it's literally just going fast. It's, like, rendering really fast. You can see the frames just popping up. 67. It's amazing. Only a few more. I think I did 80, right? 68. That's amazing. Alright, so I go to the folder and it's done, 80 frames. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this out. And I'm going to go to my Blender file, Control S, and I'm going to go scroll all the way down here, in the top, not down here, but at the top, and then just press the plus sign, and then video editing, open up the video editor. I'm going to go to all the way to 0, and I'm going to add image sequence, and then I'm going to go to the folder in which I have that, and I'm just going to select the first frame, scroll all the way down, and then shift select the last frame, and it should select everything in between. So I'm going to go ahead and just add image strip right there, and then you'll see that if I kind of scroll, you can see it right there. And so at this point, to render that animation, I'm going to make sure that my resolution in the output properties is the same as it is in layout mode. So 1920, it should be 1920 pixels, 1080. 1920, 1080. Okay, perfect. 24 frames per second. Make sure frame starts 180. Frame starts at 1, ends at 80, and then I'm going to just kind of relocate or give it a folder to go to, and I'm going to make it video, as I always do. Select that folder so that the video is going to go to that folder. I'm going to change the file format to FFmpeg video. I'm going to go to encoding, change the container to MPEG4, change the output quality to high quality, and then everything else should be good. And at this point, I'm going to do Control S, save that, and then go here to render and just render animation, and it should render pretty quickly.